Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm your average guide Sahil Gogna, and yes guys, so recently I have moved to Toronto, and the major part while moving here was finding an accommodation. And trust me guys, I have been living here for last 3.5 years, and while I was moving here to Toronto, it felt like I was coming from India. So basically, even after being so much experienced with this country, I felt that there were a lot of challenges that I was facing, and especially related to this accommodation. So I thought, why not share it with you guys? So we already hear a lot about the housing crisis here in Canada, and while I was looking for an accommodation, trust me guys, that thing is pretty real. And I felt that, and I thought, like, why not share that experience with you guys, the story that how I found this apartment and what were the major challenges that I was facing, so that you guys can know that okay, these are the things that we need to keep in mind, because we already know that okay, there's Facebook Marketplace, there's Kijiji, and there are some other resources that are very common here, right? But how do we find the accommodation over there, and what are the challenges that we can expect? So in this video we are going to discuss all of them. So without any delay, let's get started. Guys, to start off my accommodation hunting, I was looking something that would be closer to downtown or at least in GTA region. And the reason is that my office was in downtown area, so I didn't want to spend much time commuting from my home to my office. And I would recommend you guys the same thing, that in case you are a student here, you should find an accommodation that is pretty close to your college or to your university, so that you guys can save a lot of time. Because when you are here in Canada, the life can be very hectic, and as you guys already know that we have to do everything of our own, be it our cooking, be it our household work, cleaning, and everything of our own, right? So in case like you're spending a lot of time commuting, just commuting from your home to your college or to your workplace, then the life can be pretty stressful. So to save time, I was looking for something that would be very easy to reach. And secondly, I was looking something on a temporary basis where I can live for 1 or 2 months, then I can explore the area around and then find that which area is good, and later on I can find a accommodation in that particular area. So firstly, closer to the office area, and secondly, a temporary accommodation. So I started my apartment search starting May, and when I was messaging people on Facebook Marketplace, I wasn't getting any responses. And yes guys, the website that I was primarily using to find the accommodation was Facebook Marketplace. And when I was sending people the text that I am interested in that particular apartment or in that particular room, I wasn't getting any responses. And I was pretty much confused that be it the job search or be it the apartment searching, why are not people replying, right? So that can be pretty tricky thing. So guys, this thing kept happening with me, that I was sending people the text that I'm interested in their room, but I wasn't getting any of the responses. And later on I realized that I was too early in my apartment hunting journey. So I was moving in July and I started looking for May. So even there was 2 month time period. So I was trying to be proactive, but the current situation of the housing market in Canada is that people were mostly looking for the tenant who can immediately move in, or at least starting the next month. So I know like a lot of students, when they are coming from India, they start looking for their apartment pretty soon. And that might be the one reason that you are not getting any of the responses. So don't stress much on this part. So keep on trying and you might find something. And guys, later on I learned one more thing, that when I was sending people the text that hey, is it still available, or just inquiring about the availability of that apartment or that room, the reason I wasn't getting much of the responses because I wasn't giving much information about myself. So someone suggested to me that whenever someone is posting the ad for a room, they are only looking for the serious buyers, and that's pretty much true, right? So you get hundreds of inquiries every day, and you don't want to just waste your time talking to or chatting to the people who are not genuinely interested in renting out their property. So someone suggested me that I should write complete details about myself, like from where I am moving and what's my current stage, like I'm working with that company, so that my complete text, instead of like writing hey, is it still available, my complete text should sound that it is coming from someone who is genuinely interested and he is serious buyer, right? So that's the one thing that you should try. In case you are not getting any of the responses, just try writing a detailed message about yourself, and so that the other person who is reading that text, it might seem to them that you are the genuine buyer, right? So guys, this worked out pretty well for me, and I hope this works out for you as well. So once this problem was solved, I started getting a lot of replies from people who were posting ads. But then came the next problem. I was sitting back in Halifax and I was looking for an accommodation in GTA area. Just like you guys might be sitting in your home country and you are looking for an accommodation in Canada, I wasn't present in person for the viewing, or at least check that that person is a genuine or not, right? So as you guys already know that there are a lot of scams happening, so people post fake ads on the Facebook marketplace or the Kijiji or whatever platform you are using, and then they ask you for a deposit and then nothing happens, right? You are scammed. So I was scared that the same thing might happen with me. But even though like I had a lot of friends here in GTA area, I didn't want to bother them to go for a viewing, because as I have told you that GTA is so huge that if they are going for a viewing, it might take them for 1 to 2 hours to reach that place and then come back to their place, right? So we all have our jobs, so I didn't want to bother them. Even at one time I started looking for an online viewing, but then came the another problem that the people, they were giving preference to someone who is already present in that city. So whenever I asked them that okay, I'm moving, so they were like, okay fine, you can send any of your friend to view the place. But then most of my friends, they were busy in the weekdays, and if they are looking for someone who can visit on in the weekdays, then my friends were not there, right? So it was getting pretty hard for me, and they were giving the preference to someone who is already present in GTA area. So till this point of time, like half of the June was already gone, and I was looking for an accommodation starting July. I had just 15 days left to find an accommodation. Guys, till this point of time, I had completely lost my all hopes that I'll find a good accommodation sitting back in Halifax. So I decided that as a last resort, I will be looking for an Airbnb. I'll book that Airbnb for a month, and then when I'm in the city, I'll start looking for the accommodation. And I think then it would be pretty much easy for me to visit the places and then finalize one apartment for me, right? Guys, then something amazing happened to me. So I was in an office meeting and I was talking to my colleagues and telling and sharing my accommodation search experience with them, all the challenges that I was facing, because most of them were living in GTA area for a long time. So I was asking them for their suggestion, and one of my teammates, he told me that they have one vacancy left in their own apartment. So that was a sort of lucky shot for me. So the one thing that I learned from that incident, that you should always talk to the people around you. You should always ask about their suggestions. You never know who might help you to solve your problem. So guys, that's it for today's video. So initially I planned that I'll be bringing my roommates in this video and asking their experiences with the accommodation searching, but we were not able to find any common timing. So that video is pending for the next time. I'm pretty sure that you guys will learn a lot from their experiences, because all of them had great experiences in the life, especially here in Canada. So see you in the next video. I hope you have really liked this video, learned a lot from this video, and make sure to subscribe the channel. See you in the next video. Till then, stay safe.